Imagine if you simply stopped talking for a week. No small talk, no complaints, no need to fill the silence. Sounds extreme, right? But what if I told you that some of the greatest minds in history did exactly that and discovered something life-changing? The truth is, we live in a world where silence feels like a threat. We're used to constant noise, not just external but inside our own minds. But what if the secret to a clearer mind, wiser decisions, and greater control over your life was hidden in silence? What if this pause is the one thing standing between you and discovering who you truly are? So here's the challenge. Silence your mind for 7 days and see what happens. What you'll uncover might change everything. Pause for a moment. When was the last time you were in complete silence? No phone, no TV, no distractions at all? It's almost impossible to imagine. Most people feel uncomfortable with silence because it forces them to face something terrifying, themselves. Their minds start screaming, bombarding them with memories they'd rather forget. Worries about a future that hasn't even happened yet. Insecurities they try to mask with distractions. This inner restlessness drives us to seek noise, anything to keep us from looking inward. Social media, empty conversations, endless notifications, music, videos, all of it keeps us running from a simple truth. We are addicted to escaping ourselves. Now think about this. What if that voice in your head isn't actually you? Many believe the mind is a reliable guide, a friend that protects and directs us. But the truth is, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer behind them. Your mind can be your greatest tool, or your worst prison. The problem is, most people live on autopilot, completely identified with that inner voice, never questioning it. Have you noticed how your thoughts repeat themselves every day? The same worries, the same fears, the same regrets. What you thought today, you probably thought yesterday and the day before. You are trapped in a mental loop that keeps you exactly where you are. It's like an old radio that never turns off, playing the same track over and over, replaying past mistakes, projecting anxiety into the future. It's never in the present. And that's exactly why you feel so restless, because your mind is always somewhere else. Silence is the only way to break free from this trap. It forces you to stop running and simply observe. And when you learn to observe instead of react, something powerful happens. You take control. Instead of being dragged by your thoughts, you become the one who directs them. Imagine your mind as a lake. If the surface is constantly disturbed, everything remains blurry and chaotic. But when silence sets in, the water calms, and what once seemed unclear becomes crystal clear, revealing what lies beneath. Silence allows us to see ourselves without distortion. Some of the greatest minds in history understood this. Nikola Tesla spent hours in complete silence before having his biggest breakthroughs. Leonardo da Vinci observed the world in deep contemplation to recognize patterns invisible to others. Einstein would enter long periods of mental isolation before his discoveries. Science confirms what they intuitively knew. The brain reorganizes itself in silence. Studies show that silent periods activate the brain's default mode network, allowing deeper connections between ideas, strengthening memory, and reducing stress levels. Even more incredible, silence can literally rebuild the brain. Scientists have discovered that just 2 minutes of complete silence are more restorative than listening to relaxing music. And even more astonishing, silence can stimulate the growth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning. Now think about this. If just a few minutes of silence can do that, imagine 7 days. If you take on this challenge, here's what might happen. 1. You'll realize how much you speak on impulse. How often do we say things without thinking, and then regret it immediately after? After a few days of conscious silence, you'll begin to notice these impulses and understand the power of choosing each word with intention before speaking. 2. Your mind will slow down. At first, your mind will scream to be heard. You'll feel an urge to talk, to share thoughts, to express something, as if you're missing out. But then something incredible happens. Your mind slows down, your thoughts become less chaotic, and you experience a level of clarity you may have never felt before. 3. You will become an observer. Ever noticed how we're always so focused on what we want to say next that we rarely listen? During this period of silence, you'll start noticing details you've always overlooked. How people speak, their gestures, their hidden emotions, small expressions that go unnoticed when we're too busy forming our next sentence. And the most fascinating part? You'll start recognizing patterns within yourself, automatic reactions, unconscious habits, beliefs you've never questioned. 4. You'll discover a space within yourself. This silence is more than the absence of words. It becomes a gateway to introspection. Without external distractions, you begin to notice thoughts and emotions that are usually drowned out by the noise of daily life. Here, you can start to truly understand your motivations, your fears, and your real aspirations. 5. You'll face the emptiness and embrace it. Many people avoid silence because it forces them to confront who they really are. But this is where true self-knowledge begins. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, like a crushing void. But instead of running from it, you learn to embrace it. And you realize this silence is not empty at all. It's a fertile ground where new insights about yourself can grow. 6. You will learn to truly listen, not just to others, but to yourself. You'll start to differentiate your true voice from the voices conditioned by society, external expectations, and irrational fears. This realization alone can completely transform the way you relate to yourself and the world around you. Of course, it might not be possible to remain completely silent for an entire week, but here's how you can start feeling the effects of silence right now. Begin with 1 hour a day of complete silence. No music, no social media, no unnecessary conversations. Just you and your thoughts. Try 24 hours without speaking on impulse. This will reveal so much about how you use your words and how you react to silence. Create moments of silence before making big decisions. Instead of seeking external advice immediately, give space for your own mind to bring the answers. Observe your mind as a spectator. Imagine your thoughts as clouds in the sky. Instead of attaching yourself to each one, simply watch them pass by. Use silence to redefine your relationship with yourself. Ask yourself, who am I without this endless inner voice? What truly matters to me? Silence is not just the absence of sound. It's a space where your mind reorganizes, where your thoughts become clearer, where you reconnect with yourself without distractions. Imagine looking at your life without noise, without interference. Just you, present, aware, whole. Silence is where answers emerge, where the true self reveals itself. But few dare to enter this space. Few have the courage to truly hear themselves. Now I want to know, could you stay silent for 7 days? What do you think would happen? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading and replying. And if this video made you think, share it with someone who needs this message. Let's change the way we see silence together. But be warned, you might not be the same person after this. See you in the next video.